Welcome, everybody. So nice to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We're about to begin. We're so excited to see everybody coming in. And even though we know we would have liked to be in a different situation with everybody in one room and having our original plan for the drumming circle and all the other things that we wanted, circumstances has it that, of course, we're very grateful for at least having this opportunity to be with everybody with technology. So thank you, technology, for allowing us to be together even so. There are going to be a couple of different pointers. We're muting everybody so that there will be less distractions, and only those people who are going to be presenting will be unmuted at the right times. And there might be some freezes or delays, hopefully not. But if yes, at the bottom there's a chat box. You can either text us or you can chat box. You can ask questions, and then hopefully we'll be able to answer your questions. There's going to be, you saw that the program guide that was up, so it tells you what we're doing first and second. And I do want to ask you if we all have your either vodka, wine, grape juice, water, whatever you want to have for our l'chaim in a little bit. And if you have your tzedakah box or a little cup with some coins ready. And if you have our tambourines or any type of musical instruments for throughout the evening, even if you're muted, please try to play along because you'll be hearing everything. So get into the spirit of it. And I do want to thank the people who worked on this so hard to get it together. Women's Chavurah sponsored, and of course Mazal, who initiated the program about 20 years ago. And all of our presenters, which is going to be Regina Dorman, who will be part of the prayers, and Julie Zorn and Rachel Sasunkin, who will be doing our music, and my daughter-in-law. And we have Dini, my sister from China, who will be sharing with us a wonderful message, and Musi, my other daughter-in-law, who took care of all the technical difficulties behind scene. So we want to thank everybody for participating and making this a wonderful afternoon or evening. What I'd like to do is start with Hine Matov, and we're going to ask Julie Zorn to start bringing us a good spirit of bringing all of us together with the song Hine Matov. So get your music ready, and Hine Matov.
Hine Matov Manayim, Shamer Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim, Shamer Achim Gam Yachad.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. So there was a couple who was getting married, and they went to a rabbi and said, "Rabbi, give us some advice, some wise advice before we get married." And the rabbi said to them, "One advice I want to give you, choose to be happy no matter what. There's going to be ups and downs. The cup is going to be looking like it's half full or half empty, but you'll have the power to choose." And it's not an easy thing to do. We all know, given our situation now, We have so many questions. We have so many uncertainties, sad times. Just we're not sure what to do and how to do. But I saw this video and I just thought that this video can help us add a little bit of a positive element to what's going on with Corona. So let's view the video and we'll take it from there.
Thank you for shaking us and showing us we are dependent on something much bigger than we think. Thank you for making us appreciate the luxury we lived in, abundance of products, freedom, health, and realizing we were taking it for granted. Thank you for stopping us to make us see how lost we were in the busyness, not having time for the most basic things. Thank you for allowing us to put aside all our problems we thought were so important and showing us what is actually important. Thank you for stopping the transport. The earth was begging us to look at the pollution for a very long time. We didn't listen. Thank you for all the fear. It has been a global disease for years, but not many of us wanted to face it. And now we have to face it and learn how to embrace it with love and with the support of our community. Thank you for this reevaluation of our lives. Thank you as we finally understand what it means that we are all connected. Thank you for the unity between all of us. We knew the world has to change. Thank you for helping us to undermine everything and giving us a chance to build the world from the very beginning.
Regina Dorman will lead us in the prayer. It's actually a Psalm 118. Regina, you'll be the leader, and if it's going to be on the screen, we'll all be able to follow. If not, we'll just listen.
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Give thanks to God, for he is good, for his kindness is everlasting. Let Israel declare, his kindness is everlasting. Let the house of Aaron declare, his kindness is everlasting. Let those who revere God declare, his kindness is everlasting. From constraints I called upon God. With abounding help God answered me. God is with me. I have no fear. What can man do to me? With God among my helpers, I can face up to my enemies. It is better to seek refuge in God than to rely on man. It is better to seek refuge in God than to rely on leaders. All nations surround me, but with the name of God, I will cut them down. They surround and encircle me, but with the name of God, I will cut them down. They surround me like bees. They fade away like fire consuming thorns. With the name of God, I will cut them down. You, my enemy, push to topple me, but God has helped me. God is my strength and praise. He became my salvation. Sounds of joy and salvation are in the tents of the righteous. God's right hand produces victories. This is the gateway to God. The righteous will enter therein. I will thank you, for you have answered me, and you have become my salvation. The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This is God's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day which God has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. Please, God, save us. Please, God, bring us success. Blessed be he who comes in the name of God. We bless you from the house of God. Almighty is God. He has given us light. Bind with cords the festival offering to the horns of the altar. You are my God, and I will praise you. My God, I will extol you. Give thanks to God, for he is good, for his kindness is everlasting.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
And now we're going to hear a song, which is also in the similar theme, asking for prayer to give us strength.
I've got a genuine desire to live with true acceptance all my days. And inner peace, oh how do I acquire? To be open to the challenges I face. Enough of barely just surviving. I am stronger, greater than my circumstance. This life is for living and for thriving. I plan to grow and hey, this is my chance. I won't fight, I'll do this right. It is what it is, there's a purpose in this. Yes, I can accept this plan.
I accept it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. Yes, it's hard and it hurts, it's so tough, but so am I.
I'll say yes to Hashem's plan, I won't ask why. I accept it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. Yes, it's hard and it hurts, it's so tough, but so am I. I'll say yes to Hashem's plan, I won't ask why. I accept. When my heart feels the pain, Hashem help me maintain my focus, my aim to accept. Just watch, I'm giving up control now, which I never truly had in the first place. Hashem, I turn to you cause I can see how there's nothing more secure than your embrace. With every choice, I create my story. I'll take an active part, let go of fear. Cause no matter where this day will take me, I'm calm, I know Hashem's already there. I won't fight, I'll do this right. It is what it is, there's a purpose in this. Yes, I can accept this plan.
I accept it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. Yes, it's hard and it hurts, it's so tough, but so am I.
I'll say yes to Hashem's plan, I won't ask why. I accept it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. Yes, it's hard and it hurts, it's so tough, but so am I. I'll say yes to Hashem's plan, I won't ask why. I accept, everything is as it should. I accept, cause I know it's for my good. I accept, I so want to accept. Hashem help me accept, just accept. I accept, it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. I accept, it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. I accept, it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. I accept, it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me.
I accept it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. Yes, it's hard and it hurts, it's so tough, but so am I.
I'll say yes to Hashem's plan, I won't ask why. I accept, it's how Hashem wants it to be. And I trust that it must be designed with love for me. Yes, it's hard and it hurts, it's so tough, but so am I. I'll say yes to Hashem's plan, I won't ask why. I accept, everything is as it should. I accept, cause I know it's for my good. I accept, I so want to accept. Hashem help me accept, just accept.
Well, this needs a l'chaim. We're gonna ask Mazal. She can't, I don't think she could be seen at the moment, but her voice should be able to be heard. Mazal, can you hear us?
Michaela?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, good evening. Shalom, everyone. despite all, thanks to Zoom. We will toast tonight 4 cups of wine, grape juice, or vodka your choice, just like in a seder. The first cup, let's feel it. Don't worry, no one will be shikor. We're gonna dedicate for good health and the healing of the world, speed recovery for all the sick from now and in general, and you can add name of people that you would like to bless with healing. And the third is to be mindful. We can turn this global challenge to more healthy world, physically and spiritually as well. Let's make the bracha on the wine or grape juice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen. And anyone who has liquor or some other juice that's not wine, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shahakol niya bidvaro.
Amen.
And Dayenu from Julie Zorn.
And women participating.
Okay. Thank you. All right. As you all know, today we're celebrating, this gathering is celebrating the Lubavitcher Rebbe's birthday, and it's dedicated to the leadership and the impact that the Rebbe had on the world. The Rebbe was leader of the Chabad movement since 1950 and until his passing in 1994. And his actual birthday is this Sunday, the 11th of Nissan. You know, ever since President Carter, each year on the Rebbe's birthday, the presidents proclaimed that day as Education and Sharing Day USA, to honor the Rebbe's contribution to the United States and to the world at large. So I'm going to ask my daughter-in-law, Rachel, to play a nigun, a Hasidic melody, which the Rebbe loved to sing. It's called Keli Ata, and if you know it, sing along. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. We're going to hear from Rachel a little bit later as well. So a little bit more about the Rebbe. In the late 80s, there was a big philanthropist who came to the Rebbe and reported how he arranged a program for about 150 Jewish men and women who had no Jewish background. The Rebbe thanked him for his efforts, but interjected that he disagreed with something he had said. How could you say that they have no Jewish background? Every Jew is the son and daughter of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah are matriarchs, are patriarchs. From the start of the Rebbe's leadership, his entire mission and goal was to unite the Jewish people with love. You may be familiar with the concept of Ahavat Yisrael, to love a fellow Jew as yourself. The Rebbe took this to a new level. He taught that if we look at people for who they really are, if we look at their essence, we will see how all are equal in the eyes of God. We may look different, we may have different personalities, we can be from Reform or Conservative or Orthodox, Hasidic, it makes no difference. We are all equally the children of God. We are all familiar with the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, which God gave us on Mount Sinai. And if you look into the 5 books, the entire 5 books, you will not find even once the word Jew. Isn't that interesting? It's Yehudi. It doesn't say it anywhere. How does the Torah refer to the Jewish people? Because it talks about the Jewish people many thousands of times. It says Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel. The Torah is telling us that we are part of the same family. We're all children of the same Father, Hashem, God. You can be young or old, smart or simple, righteous or evil, but as children of God, we are all equal. And one can even try to deny their parents, but the essential connection will always be there. Our souls are equal. Our souls are equal to the rest of the Jewish nation, and each individual Jew constitutes a unique part of that Jewish whole. So if you're missing one Jew even, the entire people remains incomplete. If we recognize this, said the Rebbe, it will help us intensify our love to each other, our Ahavat Yisrael, and it will ensure that every Jew around us will have a place at the table, will utilize their potential for our own sake and for the sake of the Jewish people. And you know, for the Rebbe, Jewish unity was not a slogan, it was a reality. And he sought to connect every Jew in the world with his message. This was the boldest spiritual initiative ever undertaken. The Rebbe created a network of Chabad centers throughout the world to help spread the love of your fellow, love of Torah, love of Hashem. There's over 5,000 Chabad emissaries all over the world, including here in Akron. Camps, synagogues, schools, and so much more. So whenever we experience something in life, good or the opposite, I always tend to think to myself, what would the Rebbe have guided us? How would he have taught us to respond? And the Rebbe has taught many times that a human is made up of 2 parts. We're partners, the body and the soul, the physical and the spiritual. So just as we must properly take care of our physical health, we also have to properly take care of our soul, our spiritual health. And the Rebbe is guided that if we ask God for his blessings by committing to add and grow in our spiritual practices, the Rebbe focused on the 3 practices of the Torah, Tefillah, and Tzedakah. Torah, study, prayer, and charity, which Judaism teaches are the 3 spiritual pillars that sustain the world. And we did prayer before with Regina earlier, with reading the Psalms. We're learning Torah because we're learning about the holiday of Passover, and that's Torah study. And now I'm going to invite everybody to put a coin into their tzedakah box that you may have hopefully set aside, or a cup if you don't have a tzedakah box. And together, united in one, we'll put a coin into the tzedakah box. And how special would it be if each one of us could commit to adding just a little more of what we already are doing in these 3 pillars. There are so many ways to do that. For Torah, you can join a Torah class, or you can look online for thousands of resources, texts, classes, audio, video. There may be even a 1-minute Jewish study thought if you don't have time. And actually now, that's about all we do have is time. So, and for prayers, you can add 1 more prayer a day. It could be a blessing before you eat something or after. It could be to recite the morning Moda'ani, thanking God for a new day. You could recite the Shema before you go to bed. and perhaps find a way to add in charity and in kindness one more thing that you didn't do yesterday. And in each area, if we are mindful that these mitzvahs should be in merit of God's blessings of healing and redemption, that would really be special. And I want to conclude with a story, a beautiful story of Passover that I just heard that also depicts the Lubavitcher Rebbe's love to a person that he doesn't even know. So many years ago, there was a rabbi, his name is Rabbi Kunyan. He lives, I believe, in California. And he was about 18 years old at that time. And the Rebbe used to give, right before Pesach, on the same day, right a few hours before the Seder, he used to hand out shmura matzah. And matzah, it was a gift, a spiritual gift for everybody that came by, and everybody would take that and use it at their Seder. Because the Zohar explains that matzah is the food of faith for the first day and the food of healing for the second day. So this rabbi took the matzah, and right before he leaves the Rebbe says, "You live in the Bronx, right?" He says, "Yes." He says, "Well, there's another family in the Bronx. I'd like you to take this matzah and find the address, go to my secretary, he'll give it to you, and you will please deliver it to him before Pesach." And this is like a couple hours before Pesach, and he lives in the Bronx. That was like a train ride and a taxi away. Well, he calls first of all, he realizes that this is a privilege and honor and a very, very special responsibility that he is going to be the messenger of the Rebbe. So of course he wants to do it. So he tells he calls his mother, his father, and he says, "Listen, I might be delayed for the Pesach Seder, but please go ahead without me and don't wait because I have a very special mission." So he goes, he looks, he tries to take this train ride, and long story short, it takes him quite a long time till he finds his place. And by the time he finds it, it's already nightfall, it's already Passover. He has his matzah in his hand, and he goes over and he finds the address of this person. He knocks on the door, and it's quite a shabby old place. And he hopes he's in the right place because it doesn't look like a nice place. And he knocks on the door and opens the door, a man with no shirt, a man with tattoos all over, pot belly, and he says, "What is this all about?" And they say, "That's the way you say hello in the Bronx, by the way." And meanwhile, he says, "Are you so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so?" He says, "Yes, I am. What is it that you want?" And he says, "I have a special gift for you from the Lubavitcher Rebbe." And he says, "The Lubavitcher Rebbe, come right in." And he's kind of like surprised. This is very interesting experience that he's starting to experience. And what does he see on the table? He sees a tiny little kitchen. He sees one loaf of bread, and he sees a little hot plate on a tiny little table. And he realizes this family probably doesn't even know it's Pesach. Why would the Rebbe even send him here? And maybe I should just drop this off and go. But what would the Rebbe have done if he would have come into this place? And he was thinking, what would he have done? Well, he knows that the Rebbe loves everybody. And if the Rebbe sent him here, there must be a reason he shouldn't just go and leave and go to his family. But he needs to consider this person as a family member. And he says, tonight is Pesach. And I have a special matzah, special gift, spiritual gift for you that the Rebbe gave you. And would you mind if I do a Seder with you? Perhaps we could do it together right here and now. So the man said, "Oh, yeah, sure, that'd be fine. Let me call my wife and 2 kids." And they come in, a 7 and 8-year-old daughter and a wife that is pregnant. And the 7 and 8-year-old daughter are blind. And this guy is like, interesting. Well, what he does now is he prepares whatever he knows by heart from the Seder. He says, can all of us have a cup of just a plain new paper cup? And let's fill it up with some water. He realized they probably don't have any wine. And let's sing the songs. I'll tell you the story. And we'll do the 4 cups. And we'll do everything that we can remember for Pesach. And he shares with them the amazing ability of the energy of Pesach and how this matzah, just by eating the matzah, it gives us faith and it gives us ability to overcome challenges that God would not have given us unless we can overcome them. And he's going on and telling them and giving them a lot of strength from the story and how we should remember that every day we have to remember that we have to go out of Egypt and remember to take this energy of going out of Egypt and the strength and the faith of believing in and trusting in God and taking it with us into our everyday life. And as he's saying this, the family, the mother and the father, they're like very emotional. And they go on and they finish the entire Seder and the kids love it. And then it's about 1 o'clock in the morning and finally the kids go to sleep. And right before he leaves, this rabbi, remember he's 18 years old, he's doing this. And he says, so tell me, what is your connection to the Lubavitcher Rebbe that you like so welcomed me into your home and you heard that I have something from him? So he says, I worked at a meat place, and in that meat place, there was a rabbi who was a mashgiach. He was a kosher supervisor. And one time I came in, I was very distraught. I was just beside myself, and he saw that, and he said, what's going on? Is there anything I can do to help you? And the man said, and this guy saying, and I told him, I have 2 daughters, they're blind, and the doctor said we shouldn't get pregnant again because it's just going to be very bad, and the child's not going to be healthy, it's going to be blind, it's just really going to be awful. And now my wife is pregnant, blessed, but I'm so scared because they're telling us to abort, and what should we do? I'm just beside myself. And this rabbi says, you know what? Why don't we write a letter to the Rebbe, to the Lubavitcher Rebbe? Maybe he can give us some advice and some blessing. And I had no idea who the Rebbe was, he says, but any blessing would be fine for me. So I did that. And you know what? The Rebbe responded. And the Rebbe said, have faith. Don't abort. Your child is going to be healthy and is going to be able to see. This is what the man tells this rabbi, that his connection is to the Rebbe. And he says, and my wife and I had no way of having the hope that the Rebbe said and the faith the Rebbe said. It was almost like impossible. How can we have faith in such a circumstances when the medical field is telling us otherwise? Well, this was an amazing story, and the rabbi says that a short while later he was told that this lady did have a healthy baby boy who could see, and everything was wonderful. And it was a big, big miracle, of course. And he went home, and it was a several-hour walk because he wasn't driving. It was already the holiday, and he got home about 3 or 4 in the morning, and his mother was waiting for him. And he was just saying, I'm going to be making my own Seder now, and I am just so grateful that I was able to hand deliver faith and matzah to a special family that the Rebbe did not even know, who pretty much is like my own family. So this is part of our story that just, it's hard to even describe the Rebbe and everything and anything, how the Rebbe had an impact in the world. But this is just one story that I thought I just read, and I said, this is just amazing how faith and love and just combined together could really unite us all. So this is our story about that, and I'd like to ask Mazal to do a l'chaim with us again.
Hi, lady. I hope you all have more drink. Now we're going to toast the second l'chaim for the second cup, honor of each one Seder. Each one have a huge potential and huge blessing for personal freedom and liberation and a Seder. Doesn't matter what format, how big, what number, is that the original plan or revised plan, Seder is Seder. Let's do l'chaim on the second cup on a huge special holiday of Passover. L'chaim, l'chaim, mine is sweet and good.
And with the story of Pesach and the atmosphere of Pesach, we're going to ask Julie Zorn to sing for us the Eliyahu Hanavi, because who knows, it was almost like this guy was Elijah the prophet for this family, followed by Manishtana. So Julie?
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Adiladi, Bimhera Biyamenu, Ya'avol Aleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hakilati. Because
Awesome. We're getting a good sneak preview of next week. All right. So part of the Lubavitch Rebbe's motto was to spread the Chabad Hasidic philosophy all over the world, as we heard, about 5,000 centers. And one of the songs that depict that is Ufaratzta. Ufaratzta Yamav Akedma Tzafona Vanegba. That we spread the wellsprings to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. So we're going to ask my daughter-in-law Rachel to sing and play for us the Ufaratzta song. Sing along, play along, you know. Song. Okay, thank you. Well, our guest speaker will be on in just a few minutes. So one of the places that the Rebbe has sent people is all the way out to Shanghai, China. And that's my sister, Dini Greenberg. But she'll be traveling from China in a few minutes. She'll be arriving. So meanwhile, what we're going to do is let's do the Miriam song, The Power of Jewish Women. The Power of Jewish Women, everybody knows the story of Miriam, who encouraged all of the women in Egypt before even they left and before they completely went across the sea to take their tambourines and to make their tambourines and to bring out all their joy and excitement because we're gonna cross the big ocean. We're gonna leave Egypt, and made everybody just always have positive feelings and thoughts and attitudes that everything's gonna be good. And we take that with us, and we, the women, are gonna, I'm sure, bring that into our families, into the world at large. So let's go to the Miriam song, and then we'll bring Dini afterwards.
And dance all night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. As Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. never thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass the freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice with song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long.
Okay, that was awesome. Mazal, can you hear us? We could use another l'chaim to make our Passover easy, even though, despite the situation,
דיני עוד לא מוכנה?
no,
Okay.
we're gonna
Okay, lady.
move around a little bit.
Okay. Let's fill the third cup. Never too much to have sweet wine or grape juice. Feel more like in a bar.
Mine's already filled.
The third cup of the wine gonna be honor of Miriam and all other female Jewish leaders that armed us with the legacy of faith and strength despite all challenge and uncertainty. They armed us with the faith, better day to come, and they will come better and brighter.
Amen.
And brighter. L'chaim, l'chaim for the third cup of the wine and the strength of the women then and today, 2020.
Amen. Okay, I think China just flew in. Let's see. Oh,
We are here
my
and we're
sister
happy to
China.
join.
Okay.
This was beautiful. So exciting to be part of such a nice gathering. Can you see me and hear me? Okay, so I hope I'm not disappointing anybody, but I'm not actually coming from China. We had to leave our little comfort zone of China and come to the US a little while ago. We, it says a man plans and God laughs. We thought that we were escaping Egypt. And we found out that Egypt is a mindset and a reality that has to be dealt with sometimes wherever we are. So here we are. And I wanted to share with you a little bit about our experience in China, because that's probably what I can bring to you different than maybe what you're all experiencing. And the good news is that there is an end to this. Thank God in China, things are getting much better and relaxing and under control. And a lot of people are going back. We also tried to go back, but they have since changed the law and now they're not allowing foreigners in. So we are for a temporary time period. So this is all under control. So we're all dealing with new realities and trying to adjust and go along as everyone is. So what I wanted to share with you was that when we were in China, actually before we came here, and things were a little bit uncertain, to say the least, people were leaving, our community was leaving. A little bit different than what's going on here in the US. Here it's lockdown and everybody's going in. In China, everybody ran away. Everybody left. So after the last family in our community left, we looked at each other and we said, maybe it's time to go. But until we were able to make those arrangements, we had like 2 weeks of tremendous uncertainty when we didn't know what was going on. It wasn't clear what the truth was. It wasn't clear what the situation was. So we had to really look deep inside to get that strength to persevere during that time. And I think this whole video chat and theme of tonight's evening is very apropos to what we went through, because we had to really think positive that things will be good. We drew a lot of strength from the Rebbe's teachings, and I know tonight we're also celebrating the legacy of the Rebbe and the Rebbe's birthday, and that was really the first thing that we went to look and to see what is the guidance, what would be the guidance of the Rebbe, and what is the guidance of the Rebbe during these times. And we found that this specific concept of thinking positive and thinking good that can create our reality was very, very helpful for us. And of course, everything is divine providence, but at the same time, we have a daughter who's studying in Detroit, who's now here with us in Cleveland, and she was doing a production, which has since been postponed, together with Hannah Sazunkin as well. So they were asking some of the families to help write the songs. And they were giving different songs and to different families. And our family agreed. We said we'd be happy to help. And we got the faith song. So we had to create a song as a family about faith, about a mother who has faith that the goals that she was trying to achieve for her children and for her reality and her situation, which was very uncomfortable and very disturbing at that time, she had to have faith that that her goal would be accomplished. So here we were as a family sitting around the table and trying to make the lyrics for this song. And we realized that it was very, very applicable, and obviously in a different way, but the concept of the faith was applicable to our situation, because here we were surrounded by complete uncertainty. We didn't really know what our next step was going to be. We didn't really know what we should do. And the only thing we had really to rely on was our inner strength and our inner faith. And so we took this concept of my faith becomes my reality. What I believe is going to become my reality, which is a Jewish concept. And Hasidic thought speaks a lot about it. And we created the song around that whole concept. So I have the song here. I thought maybe I will read just a little paragraph for you. So to share with you some of our lyrics. I'm trying to see how I could do this with my Zoom. I hope you're not going to lose me on the screen. Let's see. Let me know if I'm still on.
We lost your we still hear you, but we lost the video.
Okay, so you lost me on the screen. I'll come right back. 1 second, please. Oh, okay, there we go. Can you hear me? Perfect. So here we are writing this song, and the end of the song says like this. It says, God is in control. We will prevail. I feel it in my soul. Reaching out, I can already see my goal. Hashem sends salvation speedily. In a matter of seconds, in a blink of an eye, this situation can be behind me. Faith and strength will actually change my reality. So here we were singing this song at home. My kids were humming it. I found myself singing it, and that really became our strength during that time. And how did we apply that? And this is what I wanted to share with you, because it's also applicable to this situation. Because part of the concept is that just because things people predict that things will happen according to nature. People say that, this and this are the expectations of what would happen. We had to really rise above that, and we had to believe that that doesn't have to happen. Because with our faith, we can transcend that reality, and we can be beyond that, above nature, so to speak. And so that was really how we got through that time, so to speak. We also very much connected to connecting to the Rebbe, and since we're sharing that it's the Rebbe's birthday, we have a special power here, because on a birthday, a person's strength is even stronger and shines. And what we try to do is remember our Jewish tradition, that the soul of a tzaddik lives, And we actually addressed that in our letters, and we asked for blessings that everything should be good and everyone should be healthy and well. And it's something that I'll share with you that we can all do, because we have, we all are connected to the great tzaddik and great righteous Rebbe in our generation. So those were the little points and thoughts that I wanted to share with you about our life in China. And that although we all say, you know, I hope life will go back to normal, and I'm here to tell you life will go back to normal and could go back to normal, because life is going back to normal in China right now. My children are very proud that we're probably the only functioning Jewish center in the world right now, where people can actually come and get their matzah and their wine, even with masks and with gloves, but still the situation is, thank God, under control. So although we're all anticipating and we're sure that life will go back to normal, we're also hoping that the normal will be much better than what is our norm right now. And as Miriam was we just heard in our song, Miriam was so thankful, was so sure and positive that God was going to deliver the Jews out of Egypt, and Passover would be a tremendous redemption. We too believe that we want things to go to the real normal, to the real world that God intended for us, to have a world of only good and only health and only positive things, a world full of godliness where things just are great because they are. So we hope that that will be the new reality, and that's our firm belief as we walk in the footsteps of our foremothers and our heroines. So I'd like to share with you all I would like to wish you all a happy and kosher Passover in our, God willing, new reality, and to have all the inner strength and fortitude to be able to rise above all the predictions and all the things that we hear around us, and to keep that calm and tranquility within us, and know that we will think good and it will be good for us and for all Jewish people and for the whole world. May we celebrate dancing in Jerusalem. This year in Jerusalem.
Thank you, Deanie. That was awesome. And definitely, it's she doesn't know why she's here, but you know, she's with our parents, and she helped me when I had my fall. So there's many reasons why. Somehow God coordinated it. So regarding the matzah that she said that in China they're giving out, I just want to talk about this matzah that we are offering as a gift, just like the Rebbe had given everyone a gift of matzah, spiritual gift. We're offering everybody to have one large round matzah to use at your seder. And afterwards, we can figure out if it's going to be in the Akron area to be delivered to you. We have some delivery people, or to pick up, and we can be in touch afterwards about it. So I wanted to share that with you. And now we're going to go to North Carolina and an old Akronite who is Amy Greenfield. And if anybody's ever tasted carrot souffle in Akron, just know that the person who initiated the carrot souffle was Amy Greenfield. So thank you, Amy, because everybody in Akron just loves that carrot souffle. But she's going to give us another recipe for Pesach. And regarding the recipes that we have that we're going to be giving out, it's not going to be on this Zoom here today, but we're preparing a little booklet that we will email to you. So if you're not on our email list, then send us your email and we will send it to you in a couple days. And if you still have recipes to share, we can add them on. But without further ado, we're going to go to Amy Greenfield and have her share with us a wonderful dessert.
Hello, Kayla. Thank you. And thank you, everybody that's watching. Okay, today we're going to do an avocado chocolate mousse. And
Wait, you can't hear?
You can't hear me?
I hear you, but somebody's saying she can't hear. A second. Let's see. Hold on, I can't see what you're saying. I'm not sure why. What she's saying. Cannot hear, cannot see you. Can you see? No, you can't see. Hold on a second.
But you see me, Kayla, right?
I see you, yeah. Is there anybody else?
I don't see her.
You don't see her? Hold on a minute, because maybe it's just a Amy Kayla thing here. I don't know, because I see Debbie and I see Amy, but let me see what we can do. Just a minute.
She has to scroll on her videos.
Okay, so Robin said she can hear. Robin said she can hear and see.
Can you hear Amy? You can hear Amy.
She looks so pretty. You've got to see her.
Oh, they're too funny.
Oh my gosh. I can see and hear Amy. Great.
Okay, Russell can see and hear me also. So
All
maybe,
right.
their
Maybe
computer.
other people are computers. Other people are saying they could see and hear. Anybody else? Can you scroll? Same here. Everybody could hear and see. Can you scroll? What should she scroll? Let's see. Scroll her. Okay. You see? Okay. All right. Continue.
Okay. So this is an avocado chocolate mousse recipe, and it's healthier because you're not adding, first of all, it's non-dairy, so it's parve, you can use it. The avocados give you a healthier oil, so you're not adding like heavy creams to it, and you're not adding any additional sugar than what's already in the chocolate, but being that it's chocolate, it's already good. So anyway, it's a very simple recipe to make, and it's really versatile. You can serve it as a mousse. You can make it prior, you can freeze it and then defrost it and then just sort of re-whip it. Or you can freeze it and use it as ice cream, which is the way my daughter likes it. I like it more whippy and soft for mousse. So here's just one that we made today. I just garnished it with some raspberries. You can put any fruit in it, put whipped cream on the top, and then because it's more of a dark chocolate, then, you know, also I just put some chocolate cocoa on the top just to sprinkle on it. You can also use this in a trifle and have it be 1 or 2 layers in between with fruit and with a white cake, so you see the different layers. But anyway, to make it, you use ripe avocados, which were impossible to get. So I did leave them outside in the sun all day today, trying to get them ripened. But you use 4 avocados. You can use 5 if the avocados are small, but I just get those out of the skins, and then we'll just put them in the Cuisinart, and hopefully they'll whip if we run it long enough. Okay, and after we get those whipped, let's see what we go. Those big chunks. Okay, and the only ingredients for this, which are great, it's just the avocado, and we're going to put some maple syrup into it, melted chocolate, vanilla, and some salt, and that's it. And all you do is just mix it all together. I've already melted the chocolate chips. I used semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use bittersweet chocolate. I didn't think it was sweet enough with the bittersweet. So we were speaking earlier, you can always add a powdered sugar to make it sweeter. I think if you add regular sugar, you'll taste and feel the granules because it won't be dissolving. But some of these big chunks are not going to want to mush down. I was lucky to even find the avocados. Our grocery is very bare. Okay, just one more time here. See, it's barely moving. Okay. I am going to just take out these chunks that will not grind. Make them into guacamole in a couple days. We'll be home to eat it. Okay. Then after you do this, then we'll just add everything else. We'll add this chocolate, and make sure when you melt the chocolate, you can do it in the microwave, and you just do it for like 20 seconds at a time. You don't want to do it for any more because you'll burn the chocolate. and you want to make sure that you don't get any water near it. Water is chocolate's biggest enemy, and I know as I say that my kids are laughing because we make chocolate candy and do a lot of chocolate baking, and I've always told them since they were little, water is the chocolate enemy. It'll make it seize up and you won't be able to do anything with it. I will tell you, if chocolate does seize, one thing that sometimes will help is adding a vegetable shortening, not oil, but the shortening. Okay, since we added the chocolate, it's giving more moisture to the avocados. Okay, so we added 5 ounces of the chocolate, and then here is 2 ounces of, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. Okay, and then we have a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay. If it's too thick when you're finished, you can always add the part with cream to it and just add, after it's whipped. Don't add it prior to whipping it because it'll make the consistency too runny. But you can add whipped cream to it to just make it a little bit softer, a little bit lighter. All right, and that is it. So I don't know, you can tell. That's it. All right, I'll taste it, see what it's like. But you have to say it's good, regardless, don't you, on any cooking show? It's very good.
Looks delicious.
One of the recipes that Kayla is going to be giving you is called ingehaks, and it's a recipe that's from my grandmother that she brought over from Romania. And it seems very simple, but it is so good. It's almost like a cold mashed potatoes. You take 6 potatoes, you peel them, and you boil them, and then you just mash them. And then you take 3 hard-boiled eggs, and you then end up mashing those along with the potatoes, and then you just add schmaltz, or you can use olive oil, which is a little bit healthier, and salt, and then you add a 1/2 of a chopped onion, a large one or a small onion. You can saute or leave it fresh or leave it crispy, so when you're eating it, there's crunch, and mix it all together until it's creamy, and you just add oil, enough till it gets creamy with salt, and then you serve it cold. And if we don't have that to eat on the first day of Pesach, it's not Pesach. So try that recipe. It's really good on matzah, and just a good sandwich. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That sounds delicious. And it's for all year round too. It doesn't have to be just for Passover. It's wonderful for Passover, but for all year round. So that's great. Good idea.
Everybody have a wonderful, safe, healthy Pesach. And thank you for asking me. And let me know if you make the recipe and if you like it.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And now we're going on to the, right before Mazal, we have one more L'chaim, and then we have L'Shana Haba B'Yerushalayim.
Hi, lady. I have to admit, I missed that I couldn't bake and prepare all beautiful sweet dessert and things that you usually munch at the end of the celebration, but hopefully we do it next time. This cup, we're going to fill the 4th cup for the physical preparation for Passover and the Seder. Till Amy, everything was more spiritual, abstract, faith, strength, women, spirituality. But we know Pesach has also the physical aspect, cleaning the home, preparing the home, the food, etc. So let's fill the cup and bless each other for a wonderful, happy, healthy, and kosher Passover, kosher Seder, with lots of blessing for easy preparation and finishing things in time. L'chaim, l'chaim for the fourth cup of the wine of the drink.
Amen. May it be so, for sure. And now we're going to ask Rachel, our daughter-in-law, to play L'Shana Haba Yerushalayim, sing along next year in Jerusalem. Actually, let's just say this year in Jerusalem. Let's all be there this year in Jerusalem so we can celebrate with Mashiach. Thank you. Thank you. L'Shana Haba Yerushalayim. This pretty much ends our program. But I do want to remind you that if you want to pick one up or you want one delivered, please text me. Let us know how we can get it to you if you're in the Akron area. And the recipe, if you have any recipes to share with us that we can still put into our booklet, let us know and we will email everybody delicious recipes that you can feel like you're all part of one big family over here this Pesach as we are using each other's recipes. So thank you everybody for joining us and a happy, happy Pesach, and we should only share good news.